Well, hello everyone, and here I am. It's day one of my first ever social experiment. I'm going to experiment or see what it's like to not be on the internet for the next 7 days, which for an entire week. This is something that I'm doing because I recently saw a Frontline special, a PBS Frontline special, talking about some of the unexpected side effects that the internet has had worldwide. Such as internet addiction, certain emotional side effects, and all these other things. So, being somebody who is on the internet on a constant, regular basis, even on mobile devices now, I do want to see what it would be like to not be on the internet. What emotional effects it would have on me personally to not be online all the time. Okay, so here I am in day one of not using the internet, and I've already run into a small problem. Today is April the 18th, so I think I have a credit card payment due today. You have to look through the actual statements that I get sent in the mail. I got a couple of here. I'm going to see if I can find the latest one, and hopefully maybe I can find an 800 number, and I can make the payment over the phone. Okay, so I say it's been about maybe 15 minutes or so looking through my bills that I get through the mail, and I finally found the one I was looking for. And the bill also has a pay-by-phone number, 1-800 pay-by-phone number that I'm going to go ahead and try calling now. Okay, so that took care of that. According to the phone timer, it was almost 3 minutes that it took to pay that bill, which I'm surprised is actually not too bad. Well, being that it's Sunday today, I usually like to sit back and watch a movie on Sunday evenings, but the way that I do this normally is I subscribe to Netflix, so there's some movies that I get renting them on the internet and are sent over by mail. So I guess in keeping with the project, I won't be able to use my Netflix. So I've decided to see if it's possible to drive down to the local video store and rent a movie there. All right, well I did it. I just came out of the store. It took, well, I guess because it was easy. I knew what I wanted to rent, so it was about 15 minutes in the store. It was a little annoying having to leave the house, but once I was actually out and in the store, it wasn't too bad actually, and I did find a movie. Figured now that I'm out here, some of the other stores nearby, I think I'll go ahead and pick up some stuff that I needed anyway, so take advantage of making the trip out here. Well, here I am. It's day two now. Well, one of the things I like to do right before I get started or dive right into work, checking emails and type and all that stuff, I like to just very briefly read the headline news on the internet, whatever website, sometimes right off of the Yahoo page. But obviously I can't do that now, so I did it the old-fashioned way. I went out and I bought the daily paper, which is the Daily Valley-wide, which has all the national news in it also. And I'm going to go ahead and read this as best I can, or as quickly as I can. Also, I'm going to try to keep track of all of the expenses that come up with not having the internet. For example, I had to rent a movie yesterday, which had some expenses, and the daily newspaper costs 75 cents each day, so I'll try to keep track of that as best as possible. Well, now I remember why I got Netflix in the first place. It's because having to drive back to the video store to return a movie before it's due is really annoying. But here I am. It's night of day two, and I gotta return this movie before I get a late fee. Okay, well here it is, day three, and behind me, I don't know if you can see, is the Barnes & Noble bookstore, which I'm about to go into. I'm actually pretty excited about it because this is kind of, well, I like to think that if the internet were a building, it would be a bookstore, because in it you can find information on pretty much any topic. You can find articles to keep you up to date on your favorite topics, and music, and that sort of, and even movies, that sort of stuff. So I'm actually pretty excited to be able to finally be able to look into stuff that I'm interested in. So. Okay, so I just got out of the bookstore. I bought one magazine and one book, and it came out to about $25. So it's a little pricey, but it was what I was looking for. So that's it. I am happy that I bought them, but I think I could have saved a little money if I was just to do some research on the internet. Well, hello everybody, and here it is. It's day 4 now of the week without internet, and I thought about something yesterday, and that is that there really is no alternative for emailing photographs to somebody except for actually taking photographs, stuffing them in an envelope, and sending them out to whoever you want to send them to. Something that is obviously a lot more expensive and could actually take several days to get there. The same is true with videos. If you want to send somebody a video, you would actually have to burn it onto a DVD. But I also think to myself, well, maybe whoever I send the pictures to or the video to, them knowing that I actually took the time to get them ready, put them in an envelope, write address, pay for shipping, that might make the photographs and the videos be appreciated a lot more. So it's kind of a give and take here, especially here at work. I've always thought, or I've always considered having the internet available in the office was a bit of a distraction. Of course it's a very useful tool, but it's also a distraction because there's a lot of places you could wander off to. And it is, but there is something that I've noticed now that I don't have access to the internet. Throughout the day I find that I get distracted anyway. It could be anything. I could just start thinking about stuff, or I could just start reading stuff that's on my desk, or just find anything to just sort of get distracted for a few minutes and then get back to work. So that's something I wasn't expecting. I just figured it was the internet that was causing the distraction, but in reality I think it's just my own inability to concentrate on something for too long without being distracted. So that's something I gotta think about. Is that I have a lot more free time now, and it's really hard for some reason to come up with something to fill up that free time with. Now this is something that I would also do when I had the internet, or when I had access to the internet, was I would have a hard time trying to figure out what to do with my free time. So what I would normally do at that point was I would get on the internet, I would do some web surfing, I would look at some YouTube videos and just sort of pass the time. And it kind of makes me think, well, the internet is, there is a lot of time that is wasted on the internet, but sometimes that's what you want the internet for. It sort of helps you waste time, if that makes any sense. Going into this, I just assumed that not being distracted by the internet or not having access to the internet would immediately mean that I would want to do other things, spend more time outside, for example, or have actual live interactive contact with real people or with my real friends. Just not having the internet isn't enough of a motivation. If there's any parents watching this, simply just telling your kids to get off the internet and go play outside isn't enough. You really do have to sort of be very specific as to tell them what to do. And I have to say, I am starting to feel it. I am starting to feel that there's a big party going on somewhere. All my friends are there and I wasn't invited. Also, it feels like nobody really seems to notice that I'm not there. It's an interesting feeling. I wasn't expecting this. I went to go rent a movie today, another movie, and the place where I rented it last time, the Blockbuster, turned out, to my surprise, it had shut down, and it was all gone, and the whole place was emptied out. And I'm sure this is mainly because of the economy, but I'm sure it didn't help that bootlegging of DVDs or bootlegged DVDs is pretty popular in this area. I was invited to a barbecue slash party last night, and I had a good time, but I did notice that it took a bit of an effort for me to want to go. For the last couple of years, it has been getting harder and harder to be a part of large social get-togethers and gatherings, and I'm not blaming the internet for this, but I'm wondering if it has something to do with that also. And I guess what I've learned overall in this week is, first of all, I did gain a better appreciation for the older, more traditional mediums such as television, magazines, and books, and other things. The internet, of course, is a faster and cheaper alternative to all of these things. But cheaper and faster isn't always better. There's fast food, and of course there's homemade meals, and it is possible to maintain a balance in these things. There is a sense of accomplishment that comes from the older mediums. I mean, you do get a sense of accomplishment when you finish reading a newspaper article or a magazine article or a book. Starting this experiment, the first few days were just filled with minor annoyances, but it was later in the experiment that I started feeling the more significant emotional effects, such as loneliness, depression, anxiety, not full-blown, but sort of the seedlings of these effects were definitely there, and I could see them getting worse if I were to spend a longer amount of time away from the internet. So that's what this week was like. I hope this was helpful. I do plan on making more of these social experiments, so if you feel like leaving comments, suggestions, or advice, you can do so. And thanks for checking out, and stay tuned for the next few experiments.